It's Friday. Welcome to Five Things Friday with myself and the fabulous Simone. Hello, Simone. How you doing?
I'm good. I always find myself dancing to that music in the intro.
I've got to apologize to the listeners because I've listened to a couple of shows during the summer where we've had different editors edit them. And so we're literally people are having to take their headphones out because it comes in so loud. But anyway, we will correct that. My name's Alex. I help organizations that sell to the beautiful retail industry across the globe stay relevant with their thought leadership. And I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, Simone.
Hi, my name's Simone. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Need It for Tonight, also known as NIFT. I always say the easiest way to describe us is kind of like Deliveroo, but for fashion.
Fantastic. So for those of you who it's your first time maybe listening in, we've appeared on your Spotify or Apple Podcast feed. We look at the top 5 news stories in the UK, specifically focused on the UK. And today we're going to start off with a phenomenal story with you, Simone.
We are. Today, I wanted to shine a light on something actually really genuinely meaningful happening in retail. So Georgia Asda is launching a new 28-piece collection of adaptive clothing for adults designed specifically for people with additional needs, as you can see. And it's properly considered. It's function first design that includes things like clothing that works around feeding or treatment tubes, metal-free zips for MRI use. They've got discreet pockets for stoma bags and lots of other thoughtful details that I guess should have existed years ago. But what makes this launch so powerful is who it's inspired by. So the range honours the legacy of Nicky Newman, who was a breast cancer campaigner who sadly passed away in 2023. Before she died, she posted on Instagram asking if any brand would work with her to create adaptive clothing that was actually stylish and also affordable, because prior to that, she'd spent £90 on a jumper that had met her needs, and she knew that her community couldn't keep doing that. So she wasn't just advocating for herself, she was listening to thousands of others in treatment who couldn't find anything that fit their bodies and their budget. So George at Asda's delivered on that ask. So yeah, kudos.
I love it. Listen, mainstream supermarkets, grocers need to be doing more of this, and fantastic that Asda is leading the way in that. And apologies if the others have done it and we just missed it, because I have to say that because maybe they did do a line and we just missed it. So fantastic, a really lovely way to start off. Now, we've spoken about John Lewis for so many different reasons. They've just released their half-year results. And interestingly enough, if you remember, I mentioned that something like 40% of their revenue will come from property. And on their website, I didn't realize there's a John Lewis Partnerships property website where it talks about what they're going to do. But anyway, they've just posted their half-year results. Fascinating, if you like, picture of the British retail landscape. Despite reporting a loss of £34 million before tax, the company, but Waitrose and John Lewis, are projecting full-year profit growth. And it actually makes sense because when you think about it, the numbers, the sales hit 6.2 billion, which is up 4% year on year. Both Waitrose and John Lewis outperformed their markets, with satisfaction hitting record highs. Again, fantastic. I can understand that. And the thing that really caught my attention with this is the fact that they're front loading their investment and putting £191 million into store upgrades, really welcome, and technology. And sorry, that's what they've done in just the first half, with even more planned before the golden quarter, which I think, again, will lend itself to people who love, go to do a little Christmas shopping, JLP or Waitrose. In Waitrose, it's specifically strong because their sales topped £4 billion for the first time in the half year, and that's a 6% increase. Wow. So when you think about it, and given all the stuff that we talk about doom and gloom, they're seeing 9% more customers than they were 2 years ago, which, again, kudos to them for doing that. And they've become the first UK supermarket, because we all love our chicken, to have a better chicken commitment. And they won the Grocer of the Year Gold Award for customer service. So it feels like, this is a retailer. They're getting the brands to come in. They're going through the transformation of the store. They've got a £53 million operating loss, but that's the investment that they're putting into their business because they're still growing. They're still selling. Customers are still coming in, but they're rebuilding, if you like, from a lot of their stores. And they obviously brought back that famous never knowingly undersold promise, which I think has lent itself to the customer sentiment stores. So yeah, that's it. That's John Lewis for me. And I think we're going to, well, no, I don't think. I know we're going to stay with me. And we're actually focused on grocery. But this is obviously Morrisons have watched the retail podcast, the NRF, because I interviewed, actually it was Shop Talk, or NRF. It was NRF. Morrisons are the first UK grocer to go with Instacart. And you were saying, well, what is Instacart? Instacart is a trolley with technology built in for you to be able to scan the items that you're putting into your trolley that comes with an LED screen at the front that it can be used for lots of different use cases, but it's a really clever way to deploy retail media if you don't want to put screens around your store. In the US, Instacart is a media company, not necessarily a retail tech for grocers, because what they're focusing and what they're saying is they've created an ecosystem of advertisers who want to advertise in retailers, but they don't necessarily just want to advertise in one retailer. They want to advertise in all of them. And so Instacart promises, take our trolleys. They've all got digital screens. Yes, the customer gets some benefit because they can do things like wayfinding. They can do things like product price lookup, look at promotions, but it becomes this little hub as you walk around. Now, I don't know if that's what Morrisons shoppers want, having AI-powered shopping trolleys, but from an industry perspective, it's the shape of things to come. So super interesting, I think. Moving on to yourself with another fabulous story.
Very excited to see how that pans out with Morrisons. But yes, so I wanted to talk about Barbour. Barbour is making moves. And what they do very well is collabs. As you can see, one of their
it's incredible.
Is FARM Rio. Very unexpected. It's a 24-piece collection. I have to say that it's available. I need it for tonight. Can't not say it.
I love it. I don't know if there's a men's FARM Rio, but it's so cool.
But it is like, you can see that it's, obviously it's Brazilian meets British countryside.
Quintessential countryside.
Yeah. But what I love is that, they still respect the Barbour DNA. You can still see that kind of wax cotton with the jacket, with the jackets and those kind of like tartan linings, but with a twist. They've got some of the pieces are reversible. It's nice, like there's one of them that I'm obsessed with, and it's like a nice wax jacket, but then it has this collar. I don't know where it is, but even this one here on the left is really nice because you've got
this one,
the nice deep burgundy kind of standard wax jacket. Then you've got this beautiful FARM Rio print on the pocket. And then I think the back of that is really nice. But why I think it works is that it's relevance through difference. And Barbour have been very good at choosing really carefully who they've partnered with. I know they did one with Ganni before, but I think what's great is suddenly someone who never saw themselves in a Barbour jacket is like, wait, hang on a minute, which is kind of me. I'm not really I do like Barbour, but I don't really.
Yeah, but you're not going to go out and buy one, right? It's
not like, this is in my wish list. I love that. Also, as well, I think doing limited pieces has that kind of drop culture, get it before it's gone hype. But yeah, I love it. I just like that it's still Barbour under the hood, still really great quality, built to last. The craft doesn't change. Yeah, I just thought it was that hybrid identity done right. I really love it. And I think it's just a really great way for traditional brands to stay relevant and tap into new audiences. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I agree. Look, timeless British heritage meets Brazilian tropical vibrance. And I think, what a great example of the multicultural world that we live in. And this need for people to have this sort of, vibrance from this new age, which FARM Rio are doing phenomenally well, right? Going from strength to strength, meeting this old world. So I totally, what a really cool collaboration. Okay, moving on, last minute. Oxford Street shutting down Sunday 21st. Whether or not you like the mayor of London. That's totally irrelevant. I think it's great for Oxford Street. I'm a fan of Oxford Street and Regent Street. I think it's a fantastic shopping destination, and the fact that they're going to make it traffic free for the day. I mean, it's a shame it's a Sunday. I'd love to, do a week. Be bold. They put the license in. And so it's, especially this week when I'm trying to get from Oxford Street up to Euston, the traffic's there anyway, because people say, oh my God, it's going to cause chaos with traffic. It's there anyway. And especially with the train strike, it was anyway. But I think they're going to, it's a mini festival, right? So they're just wanting people to come out, to hang out and enjoy the experience, to see what Oxford Street will be like. So Sunday 21st between 12 and 8. Get yourself down to Oxford Street. So Simone, with that, have you got a busy week planned?
Yes. Well, busy week. We're at the end of the week. It's been a busy week. Next week is also going to be a busy week.
Yeah, it's relentless. Coming back from the summer, it feels like, oh my God, September is going to be a big month. We've got a couple of major conferences coming up, which we will see if we'll be there or not.
Yeah.
Well, with that, thank you so much. Until next week, have a lovely week.
Wonderful. Thanks, Alex.
Take care. Bye.